Hi. I wanted to make a little preview. Um, it might be a little too late. I don't know if anyone's actually going to see this, but um, I wanted to preview tomorrow's race. So it's the USATF 50K National Championships. This is held at the Mad City Ultras. Traditionally, they have had the 100K National Championships. This year, it is the 50K. I don't believe the 100K is a national championship. If it is, there's not really much on the line. I don't think there's going to be a 50K World Championship, but if they can find a venue, they're going to host one. There will be no 100K. That's next year's deal. But anyways, the 50K is super stacked. Ton of prize money, $550 to win. I think it's like 100 or more for Masters age group winners. 1,000 to beat the course record, which is held by Tyler Germain. It's a 251 something for a 50K. And then to beat the same person, Tyler Germain's national championship record, which is at the old New York course, you have to run 248 something. That's 1,500. So you can double dip. So I mean, the winner could be getting well over $3,000. Wait until you hear some of these names. Like, it's not doubtful those times will be run. Tyler Germain's a beast in his own respect. But some of these guys are close to the level of skill that he has. I also heard there's prize money for a world record. I don't think it's impossible, but I think it's highly unlikely. I think there would be a little bit more intention, and given the championship and prize money format, I think people are going to be protecting their best interests and kind of just optimizing the situation. I don't think anyone, I know one person might be going for broke here, but I'll cover that in a second. So I just think people are sleeping on this. I haven't seen enough articles. I've heard a lot of people talking about it, but I'm in the Midwest. I'm from Minnesota. This is taking place in Madison, Wisconsin. So I have the local event bias, but I definitely want to preview this and maybe it pops up in the algorithm for a person or two. But also, I think it'll be interesting to just record my thoughts beforehand and put this out there for after. I might come back and watch. If this gets 10 views, it'd just be cool if one person saw it and recognize the significance of this race. I mean, I think this will probably be the most competitive 50K outside of World Championship, probably globally in years. So here's kind of the layout. I have 14 names written down. I kind of went from anyone from the mid 210s, marathon kind of fitness, up to the upper 220s. Starting with kind of some dark horses that are names that are significant in the area, or beyond, but maybe don't really we don't really know. So like Matthew Buffado, if I'm saying that right. I know he was recruited on the U of M's D1 team, so he's got to be good. You got to be somewhat decent to get onto that team, so they don't just let any walk on pop onto that team. So that's one name. Nolan McKenna. I thought he was interesting because pretty much all these names, as I was recognizing people and looking them up, like they all had World Athletics profiles, which again, like pretty much everyone in the championship race is some high class athlete. Nolan McKenna's interesting because I couldn't find a marathon from him faster than 2:29. I haven't looked very hard, but he has an 8:17 3K. So to think that he can't go significantly faster than that is just kind of silly. You wonder if maybe he was pacing someone or was shooting for some 2:15 or something and blew up. But I think people are probably going to sleep on him a little bit. Same with Brian Goodwin. He has some blistering cross-country times from college. I forget what school he ran for, but I know earlier I recognized the name. I might have raced against him in college or someone I knew did. I just knew the name, and I had to look it up. And sure enough, the times on this guy are pretty nuts. So he'll be really interesting. I definitely think he's another sub-3 contender for the 50K. If someone isn't in shape to run sub-3 or isn't, like, based on their history or what I know about them, not that I looked up every single person, these are just the highlights. I don't think they've got a chance. I don't think they're not on my list. So I don't know of any long distance stuff from Brian, but he'll be an interesting face. John Judge, probably one of the big names here because of his 100K last year. So he ran 6:52. I think that on paper should put him somewhere in the mid to low 250s for a 50K. And with that, we're kind of getting into some big names here. John Judge, and the cool thing with his 100Ks is I'm pretty sure he ran at the World Championships. This guy runs the kind of distances where he's not taking stupid risks. He respects the distance. And a 50K, I mean, he's probably on such an aerobic engine at this point that that's not going to be his limiting factor, and he's really probably going to be there at the end. Regardless of if he gets out in front, I think he's one of the guys that's just not, he's very unlikely to fall apart. Mike Katsafaris, again, I might be saying these names wrong. He's a 253 50K runner, and this guy is super experienced. So again, talking about names that are people that might not go out with the pack, depending what happens. I mean, 253, I would have a hard time believing that after a loop or two he's not still going to be in the pack, or at least within striking distance. But the thing with this guy is he's going to be there at the end. So he's an interesting name. Daniel Peterson, 222 marathoner. I don't know a whole lot about him, but need I say more? Roger Hopper, that was a name that I ran with Tyler Germain last week. He knew that name. That's a 221 marathoner. Again, he's probably going to be there at the end. Matthew Barrett, another interesting, I think he'll be a dark horse because he's run 150K that I could find. Again, didn't look too hard into this. I didn't spend all month on it. But I think on his ultra running profile, I think there was only one. And it was like a really hard course. I don't think it was a time that people would be very threatened by, but when you actually look into this guy, his 10K is sub 30. So again, I don't think this is someone who would wince at thinking about going sub 220 through the marathon. It's definitely someone who could run sub 3 for a 50K in the right conditions, trained well for it. I don't know how well any of these people have been training, and I don't know how much. A lot of these people might have a ton left in the tank. Maybe they haven't really showcased their fitness yet. There's people that I probably skimmed over that I didn't think anything of them. And here's an interesting name, Charlie Lawrence. So if you don't know that name, you probably don't follow ultra running whatsoever. But he's the 50-mile world record holder. Jim Walmsley is probably the biggest name for men's ultra running. That's who had the record that Charlie beat, and I don't know. Charlie went and he had the 100K record, I think. Anyways, he's set the 50-mile world record at least once, maybe twice, and Charlie's the one who holds it now. So here's the interesting thing: Charlie Lawrence is pretty sure he's a 218 marathoner. I could be wrong on that. This is the crazy thing that draws out the depth of this race. Charlie will be trying to win this. He will be out in the front. He's a racer who he's a very brave racer in the sense that if he wants to go fast, he's going fast. If he wants to thin out a pack, he's going to do it. He's not afraid to lead. When everyone's being pansy about it, I would expect him to be up front. Now, this is the interesting thing. Looking at some of these names, he might not win prize money. And that prize money is a top 5. So that should say something about the depth. I'm going to butcher this name, but Adam Vaidbancourt is my guess. Another one that I think has a really good shot to win. This is a 218 marathoner. He's run some nasty 50Ks and finishes like a monster. This was someone I was told by Tyler Germain follow. He runs like a metronome, and Tyler also told me that he had to run probably the hardest finish of his life. I think he was running like sub 5s at the end of a 50K, sub 5 miles to to shake this guy. So this guy's no joke. I seriously think this is someone that has a really good chance to win. And then these top few guys, like, I mean, this top 6 for sure, like some of these, pretty much all of these people, I mean, some of these times are just bonkers. So John DeWitt's a 2:17 marathoner. Don't know a whole lot about him. He has a World Athletics profile. He may have been at this event before because someone recognized the name, but I don't remember the details on that. Jeffrey Seeloss, another 2:17 runner, another one I don't know a lot about. Expect him to be around. Ian Carter, I do think that's a name Tyler recognized, but that is a 2:16 marathoner. This guy's a monster. He's run plenty of fast times. And then this is probably the person I'd expect to win if I had to pick one. Ryan Root is, I know, without oversharing, I know people who have been talking to him and know him personally and have been, maybe seeing his Strava. I'm not on Strava right now, so I don't know what he logs his runs on, but people who have been following him really seriously think he's in shape right now. Like, a lot of these people I was told maybe just aren't in shape. Now, a 2:17 person who's not in shape has a chance to win races out of shape, but I do think it's interesting to note that we know he's in shape. We know he's gonna be a super dangerous weapon at this race. We know he's consistent. That I do know about him. I would say he's probably the second, third, or fourth biggest name in this lineup that I mentioned. Charlie Lawrence is probably the biggest name by far. Adam Vaidbancourt, again, might be saying that wrong. I think that's going to be a big name. John Judge and Mike Katsafaris, I think, are big names because of their history in the 50K and at this race. But yeah, that's kind of my pick for people who really have a shot at a top 5 and especially a top 10. And really anyone who I think has a really good shot at running a sub 3 hour split, which is on this course ends up being like 5:45 pace. So, the wind doesn't look bad on the forecast, but with the lake, it probably will be. There's some hills worth noting. Temperature swing is pretty big, but overall conditions are going to be plenty fast. People are going to be running hard. People are going to be running it it's going to be honest. So, yeah, if someone clicked on this video based on the title, I would think that this is something that you follow, and this is going to be super interesting because we could potentially have, the fastest time in the year so far is 3:11 in North America. So to think that, I mean, the odds that 10 to 20 people run faster than the fastest time in North America this year so far is not far-fetched. So if I had to pick my top 10, I put down Ryan Root, Ian Carter, Jeffrey Seeloss, John DeWitt, Adam Vaidbancourt, Charlie Lawrence, let's see, what is that, 6? Matthew Barrett, Roger Hopper, Daniel Peterson, and Mike Katsafaris, but I think John Judge will also be really close to that 10th place slot. So the dynamic of the race is going to be really interesting. I think it's going to be in a pack for a long time. There's not much of a spread between the top 10, when you're considering the first 30K or so. So I think that second to last lap is going to get interesting. And we'll see what happens. But I'm just going to run my race. I would expect that they're probably going to go out at my half marathon pace, but we'll see what happens.